All right, everyone. Welcome to this daily Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for December 25th to the 27th of 2017. This video is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out that link down below. We're using the actual size of the constellations, which does change the signs from mainstream astrology. All right, so today I'm going to be shooting this video for 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, because I will be taking a break for the Christmas holiday. But we'll go ahead and look at all of this as usual, just for these 3 days in one video. All right, so these 3 days, we have the moon in Pisces, right? Same constellation for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Really good for getting in touch with that inner beingness, right? Pisces is about connecting to our receptivity, our intuition, our spiritual essence. And so there could be themes pertaining to that, and we could be integrating this. In fact, we are in the first quarter phase of the lunar cycle, which means this time last week we had a new moon. And so now we're in the first major challenges of this lunar cycle. And the challenge here is how can we integrate, in this case, this Pisces energy, this receptive approach to whatever it is we're focused on. And likely how we're focused on things is in this Sagittarius way. The sun is in Sagittarius. It is a time of seeing the big picture, having that open mind, maybe discussing philosophy, the meaning of life and all of this, and through that, gaining energy. So how can we integrate this receptive approach to this continuous focus on these more fiery, inspiring things with Sagittarius? So we'll talk about that. Also, Monday, we do have Venus going over Saturn, which does give a bit of a serious connotation to relationships, but it could be a good day for wanting to start to take seriously some relationship stuff, or maybe involving finances and all in all our values. As we get into about Wednesday, we'll probably start to feel Mars trining Neptune, which is a very easygoing energy. Actually, just like that Pisces receptivity, this can come very easy on Wednesday, especially going after the things we want and pursuing our personal needs just with more consideration and compassion. All right, so let's look at all of this here in more detail when we return. All right, so here's the sky for Monday, and this is for Tuesday here, and this is Wednesday. As you can see, the moon will be in Pisces all 3 days of this week. So this is that integration point. Like I was saying, we had a new moon last Monday, and that was in Ophiuchus, and so this whole cycle really is about healing still. And I think there's a lot to now integrate about healing this week, especially with Mercury now direct. Mercury went direct last weekend, and this is in Scorpio at this time. So there is this forward moving energy now about implementation. And that's exactly what we want to do during the first quarter phase anyways, is to take action, initiate, challenge ourselves. That might be inner things, you know, to maybe meditate. Again, Pisces, this receptive stuff. Or it might be external things with your career. So whatever it is, though, good to sort of reflect on what has been coming into your sphere this past week, new insights, new beginnings, new perspectives that you want to start integrating into your life through action, through initiative, and development. So this will likely have the collective theme regarding this integration of Sagittarius, which is where the sun is. We are focused on the bigger picture now, a bit open-minded, and again, it's about accessing that spirit for life, that adventurousness, that open mind, expanding our horizons. So great to focus on that. In fact, we can be enjoying that with Venus. But how can we integrate that spirit with the now moment, with this receptive approach? And this is where I think we can really challenge ourselves these next few days, is living in the now moment, connecting to God, to the universe, however you see that, but this receptive approach nonetheless. And really letting go of what is outside of our control. Right? That's what Pisces is, where Sagittarius is a little bit more about being impulsed by our spirit and our life path. The Pisces energy is more about surrender and trust. And that's why they naturally square each other. They're very different, but there is that integration of presence, yet spirit for life. All right, so that's the backdrop of these few days, but let's look at some of these aspects that we've got. Actually, let me pull up this one here. Okay, so here's all the aspects for these 3 days. Here on Monday, which will be Christmas, for those of you who celebrate Christmas, Venus will be going over Saturn. All right, so this is likely a new perspective collectively about wanting to take seriously some relationship stuff. It's a new chapter with serious groundedness, commitment, responsibility when it comes to our relationships, or maybe about the perspective of relationships in your life, right? So this new beginning now, and taking things nice and slow and steadily, wanting to build for the long term. And I think that's a really good approach to this. I think it's going to happen naturally. And like I said, it's going to be this sort of yearly transit, this yearly cycle of some new things starting for a more stable and grounded relationship life. Now, Venus is fundamentally our values, so it is also maybe just taking seriously our values and what we want and enjoy. And maybe also finances, maybe a new chapter for a lot of us involving building this area for the long term. All right, so big picture stuff, building it with Saturn, patience, persistence, all this stuff can be emphasized regarding those values on Monday. Now, as we get into about Tuesday, this is when we enter into the first quarter phase. So again, really good to challenge ourselves and initiate things, particularly moving into this part of the week. And we'll likely start to feel a bit of this Mars trining Neptune energy. All right, so this will be strongest for us on Wednesday and Thursday, but maybe even feeling it a bit on Tuesday. So as we approach that time, this very easygoing energy, right? Mars is the planet of our drive. It's our personal needs. It's our desires. It's the things we want. It's that warrior within us that will remove obstacles and pursue the things we want. Neptune is almost the complete opposite in many ways. And that is that it's about non-action. It's about taking the indirect path, or the intuitive, receptive path, just like that Pisces energy we're talking about. But this can come very easy in the sense that when we are taking action, we're just doing it with a bit more of a receptive approach, right? So very good for that, very good for easygoingness. When it comes to the relationships, we can be very compassionate, very selfless, gaining satisfaction from giving, from sharing, from compassion. And it just very much supports this more easygoing, receptive energy. So very nice for all those things. Mars is going to be shifting into Libra a bit later in the week, which will be putting more of an emphasis on fighting for equality and justice and morality, doing the right thing. But yeah, these few days, just a bit of that receptive approach, easygoingness when it goes to taking action and initiating things. All right, so that is the day in a nutshell. For those of you who do want to see the aspects with the moon, here's the aspects of the moon. On Monday, maybe a bit of healing is possible. Maybe a new chapter about healing, nothing major. I think most of it will be that more serious approach to our values and relationships. Tuesday is that integration day of initiative, taking action towards whatever these new beginnings have been the past week. And yeah, and then Wednesday, probably a lot of this easygoingness with Mars and Neptune, and maybe wanting to have that freedom in our life. And I think the freedom will likely be in regards to how can we let go? How can we have more faith and trust, right? And let go of what is outside of our control so we can have more peace, more tranquility in our life, which is really what Pisces is showing us these few days. All right, so have a great 3 days, everyone. Have a great Christmas as well. Thank you for all of your support, and I'll see you all for the next forecast. Take care.